Next genre is comedy. Comedy, if it's funny, it's probably comedy. So there are some comedies that are not so funny, but the idea is to offer satire sometimes, or to critique things. There's some subgenres that the book goes through, and we're going to go through those right now. First would be situational comedy. These are probably what we might know the most of, where you have known characters that you expect and know how they're going to behave. And so when you put those known factors into a situation that they haven't experienced before, the fun of, I wonder how that person is going to respond in this particular situation. Commedia dell'arte would be one of the earliest forms that took place in Roman times. That's when it began. You can sometimes see masks. The play that you're about to watch, a little clip from Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, is sort of designed to look like commedia dell'arte, but has elements of the next genre, which is farce. A lot of slapstick, a lot of physical humor, where you're responding to the surprise of something happening. And it often is incredibly fast-paced, a lot of physicality. I always like to think of the Three Stooges or something like that. Comedy of character, similarly to situational comedy, is based on a known quantity or the eccentricities of a central character, who more than likely probably doesn't play by the same rules that the world demands other people play by, and so you're subverting ideas and of cultural acceptance, which can lead to laughter. Comedy of idea, this is more the Greek form, and satire, where you are lampooning something, current events. I often say that satire particularly is of the moment. It tends not to age particularly well, simply because the topics and references in satire very often are of the time that it is written. There are times when you can return to it and mine what happened in the past to have a viewport into how we're experiencing something similar in the present. But very often it tends not to be funny because you have to explain it. You have to talk, explain why this reference is very, very funny back in the 17th century. That doesn't tend to work very well, and sometimes it's better just to write your own play, or an adaptation. Comedy of manners is making fun of folks who have a certain social norm that might be peculiar, or inflating that social norm. Things like Noel Coward, or The Importance of Being Earnest, where you have upper class people and we're going to make fun of how these upper class people play and interact with one another. There can be lots of laughter to be mined out of people behaving like people in a mannerly way. Romantic comedy, that's of course boy meets girl, girl meets boy, boy meets boy, girl meets girl, and the will they won't they of that give and take. Comic relief can also be found, as I mentioned in the tragedy lecture, in tragedy. Just not, it's not the central figure. And also the climax of a comedic play tends to end either in happily ever after, and that ever after sometimes means children, marriage, the continuing on of the human race.